episode of Whatever Happened to the Game, and today is Halo 2. Joining me from Illinois today is Albeleo. Glad you could make it here.
Yeah. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for having me again.
Somewhat gruff, but yeah, I've been working on getting another supercut ready of these previous episodes. But other than that, it should be pretty good. Hope your Rings of Power reviews are going well.
Yeah, work really just picked up for me, so I'm really behind on a lot of things. I gotta squeeze out that Joker review today.
Oh yeah, and it happens. It happens.
Mm-hmm.
Today's a few things. So there's a Halloween sale, and happy Halloween to everyone who's watching, by the way. All Castlevania games on Steam are on Halloween sale until November 4th. 20% off the remastered collections, 80% off Lords of Shadow.
Nice.
Recommended controllers for PC gaming. Some games on Steam now require a controller by default. DualShock PS4, which is the one I have right now, it works pretty well, or DualSense, it's from the same company. They work well. You just need to have a Bluetooth, which is standard for PCs now. And for Xbox, the Xbox Series X/X, it work on PCs as well. Obviously, with given the maker of the Xbox, they would want to have compatibility there. Yeah, but which kind of controller do you normally prefer, Albeleo? Do you use one for gaming on the PC or no?
Yeah, actually, Xbox. I got a 360 styled controller.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the modern Xbox Series kind of controller. That's what
right.
it is.
Right. I use a DualShock, which is PS4, but it still works pretty well. I mean, Steam accepts it, and they definitely accept the Xbox controllers for most of their games now. So that's what was recommended here. Because I noticed when I was getting some of the games on sale that some of them asked me for a controller. So I just wanted to let everyone know PlayStation or Xbox ones work. Previously, we were talking about whatever will happen after the Nintendo Switch. We had a lot of fun with that one. Mostly became, okay, what kind of games do we want the Switch store to add if it keeps going, which it really should. And now we're going on to Halo 2 and whatever happened to Halo 2, because we were talking about up through Halo Combat Evolved last time. Wow. So this is a really brief recap. I was pretty fun learning about the various games that led up to Halo last week, or not last week, because last week we were talking about a Nintendo Switch, but the week before last week.
You're super quiet again.
Oh, again? Huh.
Yep.
Apparently I need to be close to my mic. That's odd. Really odd.
Yeah. It's okay. It'll get figured out eventually.
Oh yeah, I've got the new microphone, but I'm gonna have to reconfigure, but it's gonna take some time to do that. So obviously it was the game that started up the Xbox, which is pretty great, and it was a new game for Bungie as the first time after they'd been acquired by Microsoft. And it was revolutionary, as we talked about earlier, in terms of the AI for the enemies, the lighting and shadow. I believe Halo was one of the earliest times where characters cast their own shadow, and you could be in the shadow of another character, which is pretty cool.
It's also one of the few where you could actually see your own feet.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I think it was one of the first ones where you could. Oh, hi. Hey, Chaos. Thanks for letting me use your Xbox, brother. Thank you very much. It helped me with this presentation.
Hey, Chaos. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, that was great. So now I have to go I'm going to get to the next slide. I'm going to get to the other ones. File. But yeah, Halo 2 was released a few years later, late 2004, in the later part of the Xbox. And, oh.
You should walk around with a volume button attached to yourself.
I should. I really should. I really should. For now. Late 2004, first game to incorporate the Xbox Live service for multiplayer. So this is the beginning of how we got to consoles connecting to the internet. I mean, the previous one was, I believe the previous one was where you could connect multiple Xboxes together rather than find each other on online rooms for Xbox Live, which is pretty cool in and of itself.
Oh yeah. Well, a lot of I didn't do 1 and 2 with my buddies. I more so played Halo 3 with them. I never owned an Xbox growing up, so I always had to go over to them, and that was fun sitting down with like 12 of us having pizza parties, basically up all night. Just
yeah.
Basically me getting teabagged all night.
that was kind of what I was doing before I got married. It was, although that was not Halo 2, that was Halo Reach. On the night before we went to the place to go have our wedding the next day, I was hanging out at my friend's house, and he and I and the other guys there were just playing Halo that night.
Nice.
But a nice way to waste your last few hours of being single playing Halo.
Yeah, my old job at the gaming arcade, we used to occasionally have it was like maybe once or twice a year, and there was this really large group of guys that would all come in, and they had not just the systems and the controllers, but they had the old connective modems so that they could live connect everybody, and we would have like 20 guys come in, and they would just all day, all night, just play Halo for like that one day. We would just order pizza, and I would just watch these guys just annihilate each other all night, and it was hysterical because you'd hear them screaming at each other across the building. It's like, no, that was my kill. It was great. There were just Master Chief heads all over the place because that was the collection case that had that contained the game. It was just really funny.
Oh, yeah, Chaos. I mean, some of the new mechanics, and we're going to talk about it after we talk about the Flood, they were pretty interesting and made multiplayer gaming very intense. And I'm pretty sure that was the real main focus of Halo 2. I have to say, so yeah, as we're talking about, the Flood was originally used in Halo Combat Evolved. I don't feel they were completely unique. Well, they were unique in quantity because they're similar to the head crabs, as they're called in Half-Life. Although the quantity of infection forms, as you see in the bottom, in the middle, near the middle, the little infection forms that bite your head, those are far larger in swarms than the head crabs were in the Half-Life games.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, at that halfway point in the game, you find out, oh crap, there's the Flood. Hi, Lauren. I hope your new song that you're working on is going well. So this is Lauren. She does a lot. She's working on writing songs and plays guitar really well. So she's working on a new song. So I wish her the best of luck.
Yeah, good luck with that.
So yeah, you get introduced to the Flood in Halo, in the first Halo, but they add a little bit more to them with when you see the Grave Mind. And he doesn't say he's at the Flood, but what he's telling you to do, he's guilty of sin, incriminating himself.
Okay. Is the Grave Mind basically the Overmind for the Flood?
Okay, yes. Now, the Flood is a sentient disease made of spores.
Okay.
And the way they work is it's actually worse and more horrifying than Xenomorphs and Dead Space vibes here, even though Halo came before Dead Space. They
Okay.
literally bite a person's head. The infection forms bite onto a person's brain, and that person becomes a zombie. Now, the zombies accumulate together to form more intelligent variants of the Flood. So there's the infection forms. A person bitten by an infection form to their head becomes a combat form. And now a combat form can add a large number of infection forms, and they become what is called a carrier. A carrier walks up to somebody and explodes, which damages you from the explosion, plus they release many infection forms to infect and bite people. The Gravemind is basically many in combat forms all coming together to make one big form. They don't reveal it to you. They reveal it to you bits and pieces that tell you, okay, the Gravemind cannot be a good guy. He wants me to disable Halo, and he's holding me like a hostage. Like you can see here, one of them is the Master Chief. The other character is the playable Arbiter, and he has them. And he's telling him what to do. So, I mean, the fact that he captures you, it's a guilty as sin, incriminating giveaway that he is with the Flood.
Okay.
But the Flood, yeah, it's a disease with sentience that accumulates into more and more, and it becomes more and more intelligent. And as we're going to go into newer mechanics, we're going to talk about, okay, these Flood are getting worse and worse. So, but first we're going to now weapons. This is where I'm going to talk about. I have my likes and dislikes with them and what they did with Halo 2. So, I mean, you've played some of the multiplayer for Halo 2, right?
Very, very little.
Okay.
I haven't even. I have been. I'm so busy. I haven't been able to do a thing, dude.
That's fine.
I never even got around to finishing.
That's fine.
The first Halo.
I felt it was great that they gave the Covenant a more complete set of weapons. I mean, they had some of them in the previous one, but now the Covenant has their own equivalent of a sniper rifle. They have their own version of you could use the fuel rod gun. I mean, you could do it in Halo Combat Evolved multiplayer with the fuel rod gun, but you can use it as a weapon in the single player campaign now. But I didn't like what they did by taking away the assault rifle from Halo Combat Evolved and giving you the battle rifle. I mean, it felt to me like an attempt to ape up on Battlefield games, ape up on Delta Force from the other game developers at the time.
Okay.
Because in Rainbow Six, Delta Force, or Battlefield, you could have scoped guns which fire small bursts. The small burst was annoying because with the assault rifle, as you may have noticed, you can just fire a continuous burst to keep them suppressed so that they can't move or respond to you.
Mm-hmm.
And with the battle rifle, you have limited accuracy, and you already still have the sniper rifle to shoot long range. So a distance burst is not really as good as what you got with the 44 Magnum scoped previously. So you're firing bursts at a distance like the earlier shooters did with a scope.
Okay.
I didn't like that much. I was okay because I didn't really use the pistol scope, the 44 Magnum scope as much in the original Halo, but I don't know. Now the craziest one was that they gave a heat-seeking mode in Halo 2 to the rocket launcher.
Okay.
So if you aimed at a vehicle, it would lock on, and you could fire a heat-seeking rocket that could follow the tank or even the flying Banshee if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm. Well, and Halo 2 is where the Needler was like super overpowered, right?
In a way, it was, because the Needler was a single-handed weapon. I mean, it was already pretty powerful in Halo Combat Evolved, but you can use a Needler in one hand and another single-handed weapon like pistol, SMG, or a plasma pistol in the other.
Mm-hmm.
So since you can dual wield, use one-handed weapons in each hand and use different ones in each hand, because previous dual wields were just like, okay, use two of the same weapon in different hands, but Now you can use a different weapon in each hand as long as they're both single-handed. So
Oh,
basically,
okay.
you could do an overcharged plasma pistol, fire a needler after that, and the target's basically gone.
Wow. All right.
Because the needler is a single-handed weapon.
I'm surprised no other game like did this where you could dual wield different weapons.
Well,
the only one that comes to mind is like Skyrim, and it's terrible.
Right. I don't know. I feel that for a lot of those games, it was just a simple thing. It's just you got two of the same weapon. Why do we really care?
Yeah, exactly.
But it's more complex in Halo because you can combine different single-handed weapons. Now, the one thing it does have a drawback to wielding two different weapons is that you don't have the other hand to throw a grenade with. So, yes, you don't. While you have the two single-handed weapons, you can't use grenades, but until you drop one. But later, as we'll find out in Halo 3, they changed it so that there was a separate heat-seeking missile launcher or a Stinger in Halo 3. And there was the regular rocket launcher that was used more for just surface vehicles because it didn't have the maneuverability anymore with the rockets you launched. But in Halo 2, they basically turned it into a Javelin or Stinger all in one.
Okay.
So it got it's crazy in multiplayer because, being in a vehicle used to be a good advantage in, say, Blood Gulch or Coagulation Canyon map where you're in the outdoors and you could fly or use a Warthog in that same map multiplayer. But now they can use a heat-seeking missile to hit you in a vehicle.
Oh, that's horrifying.
It is. I mean, it added challenge to the multiplayer games, and we'll watch a little bit of the regular footage now, but
sure.
Yeah.
You are one of our most treasured instruments. Have you led your fleet with honor?
So this is the Arbiter. He was an elite that was not named, obviously, in the first Halo, but because of the first Halo being blown up, he got demoted by the Covenant for failing to stop the destruction of the Halo, because they think it's a sacred religious temple.
Mm-hmm.
No, you will not. Soon the great journey shall begin.
So they take away his golden armor,
But when it does,
which was the highest ranking elite you met in the first game.
and you shall be left behind.
And it's funny because the prophets, the guys with the hats,
Mhm.
they sound a lot like someone else from earlier Bungie games as well.
Oh, okay.
Like Myth. But this goes
I'm sure
back to
assets and voice actors and whatnot were reused.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I'm using this in the original graphics, not the anniversary graphics.
Yeah, I heard the original graphics are creepier. Like there's because of the shadows, they lit everything too much in the remake.
Yeah, there's glare, but if you look at this, it's a lot like the revolution of light and shadow that you got in Doom 3.
Okay.
So you can see the shadows on the sergeant who's giving you the weapons in the armory right here.
Mm-hmm.
And if you aren't blocked, you see that he's casting a shadow too.
Yeah, I like how soft that shadowing is. It's a little harsh at points, but I think it looks fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I have seen pictures. Maybe it was Halo 1 I'm thinking of, because these guys had like it's like they go into the room and it's like it's dark and it's actually kind of scary because you can't see the enemies except the glow of the weapons. And then they switched it over to the modern updated graphics, and it's just you see everything and there's no scare.
Right. I mean, it's this. I don't know. I guess you call it an uncanny valley for when they just make it too high resolution. If you know what I mean, where it's
Mm-hmm.
where it's just so beyond it's so detailed that it starts to look fake
Yeah.
or plastic, as I like to call it.
Yeah, plastic, rubbery, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Rivel Staller. I'll take a look at that trailer later today. Thanks for catching that, Rivel Stalin. Riven Rivel Star boys. I'll catch it later today. Thanks. I did like Avery Johnson for the degree of tension relief he offered in this game. How'd you survive?
This is the commander from the first one, right?
Yeah, he's the sergeant from the first one. Yeah, he's still alive. It's
Gotcha.
like, how'd you survive? That's classified, son.
Yeah, if that isn't the most direct, like we don't even know.
Well, it's funny because if you complete Combat Evolved on Legendary really in enough time with left on the timer, you'll see a joke video cinematic of Sergeant Johnson struggling with an elite. It's like, and then they look and see the Halo falling apart, and they just go, "Oh no, we're gone."
Is it true that one of the Halo games has a like a super secret ending where Master Chief, because I've seen the like meme video, I just don't know if it's real, where Chief takes off his helmet and he just has another helmet?
It's a joke, but Halo games, if you beat it on the highest difficulty, they have their own special joke endings for you beating the highest difficulty.
Oh, so it is real. That's funny.
So basically, if you haven't figured out already, you play as two different characters in this game.
Mm-hmm.
You play as the Elite or the Arbiter, and you play as the Master Chief in the same one.
Yeah, because I remember everybody wanting to use the Elites in 3. And if you, like I, used the Elites in 3, you were an idiot.
Yeah, Chaos, my little brother, that's correct. You get a secret ending if you beat it on the highest difficulty. So, like, did you finish the one on Reach? Did you finish it on Reach with the highest?
I do like the parallel storytelling where Chief is getting praised and Arbiter's being stripped. Bruce Willis.
It's Ron Perlman, the only good Hellboy out there.
He looks like Bruce. Oh, it's Agent 47. He's got a tattoo and all.
Oh yeah.
Sergeant Major, the Colonial Cross is awarded for acts of singular daring and devotion for a soldier of the United Earth Space Corps.
There can be no greater heresy. Let him be an example for all who would break our covenant.
The grunt standing on top of the grunt.
Okay. I might catch up to you sometime when I've got the time, Chaos.
Commander Miranda Keyes, your father's actions were in keeping with the highest traditions of military service.
So, in case you didn't know, Albeleo, you're just the soldier they need you to be. It's the lowest difficulty on Reach.
The Navy has lost one of its best.
Oh, is it? Okay.
So he's poking fun at me at least a bit because I haven't really played it yet. Ouch. And even though this is 2004 graphics, I felt that.
Slip space ruptures directly off our battle cluster.
Show me.
15 Covenant capital ships holding position.
Yeah, you know, these graphics still hold up pretty well.
They do. And you can play as them too in the Anniversary Edition if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
Link up with the fleet.
Yes, sir.
You have the mech gun, Cortana. As soon as they come in range, open up.
Gladly.
The other thing I enjoyed so much when you go down to Earth is that there's new variants of the Warthog, not in multiplayer.
Oh, is there?
So you get a railgun Warthog in this one, when you go down to down to Kenya. This is the future. You basically go down to what is Kenya, the African nation Kenya in the future. Because like it says, Cairo, it's in orbit above Egypt. Cairo station is anyway. But as we'll find out more in Halo 3,
Chief, about time
they
you
are
showed up.
going with the whole story of Noah's Ark and the idea that it all started in Africa, which is fine. That's it's just interesting. So basically, it's that there's this. It's like Prometheus, the Aliens prequels, where there's this different story of what we heard in the Bible, only it's a sci-fi story version of what actually happened. If that makes
Okay.
any sense. Like
Yeah, no, I'm following.
So Halo is a type of way of saying, yes, Noah's Ark was a story, but it was the actual reality was it was an interstellar, intergalactic sci-fi story with the Ark. But yeah, this is the beginning of the Master Chief missions, and I'm gonna, before we get too far, I'm gonna go into the Arbiter mission, actually. But yeah, just like the previous one, you start on the station. And yes, they're so we're going to go into more of the other mechanics that were new, stealing vehicles. So you press the right button in this game, and you get close enough to a vehicle, which isn't easy, because you could still be hit or run over by, say, a warthog or a tank. You can steal a vehicle, like grab the guy who's driving it, pull him out, and now it's yours.
Mm-hmm.
You can do this with just about anything, even a Banshee. So back when Halo 2 was out, people were boasting, and kind of had a right to boast about the fact that, hey, I hijacked a Banshee coming right at me, because that's hard to do. You have to actually jump up precisely at the Banshee coming down at you and hit the button at the right moment so you can grab the guy, pile in the Banshee, pull him out, and now the Banshee's yours.
Okay.
Kind of like Grand Theft Auto. And it made multiplayer pretty fun, at least with the warthogs and such.
Mm-hmm. I can imagine.
So it's a little more complicated with tanks, because you actually have to put a grenade into the tank to eliminate the crew. But you can actually drive the Wraith tank that you saw in the original Halo now. And of course, they had the drones, or flying Covenant soldiers, which I'm going to try and catch the first time you see them in Halo 2. I thought, because you're going down a conveyor belt and you first meet them flying like dragonflies and shooting at you. But I felt they were a good addition to what the Covenant has from before. So that's a drone, not a jackal, but he was in a distance and it's hard to see his wings.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? The conveyor belt is the best time to actually see him.
That dude just cartwheel into the guy you just stuck with a plasma grenade.
Yeah. Oh, there's a drone. Oh no. Is that a... Oh, he clipped his wings.
Oh, gotcha.
So at a distance you can think they're elites, but you'll notice they have the 4 wings like a fly, like a butterfly or something.
Yeah, I did notice. Looks a lot like the I know they're not exactly wings, but they look like the space pirate, the flying, the arrow pirates from Metroid.
Yeah, they do. Whoa. Yeah, so the drones. And now I think the other crazy part is the Covenant has what's called a scarab. It's a big walker, like a beetle, and it's it's enormous, quite enormous. Let me find that file for a minute.
Didn't do a thing.
So this is when you're actually on Earth after you landed, but
Wasted, Sarge.
the Scarab was a crazy thing that they added to this one.
You hit Marine? No, sir. Then listen up. When I joined the Corps, we didn't have any fancy schmancy tanks. We had sticks, 2 sticks and a rock for a whole platoon. And we had to share the rock. Buck up, boy. You're one very lucky Marine.
What about the
We've all run the simulations. Tough, but they ain't
This
invincible.
is the walk up the hill with a boner in the snow kind of
Yeah.
kind of speech.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what the ladies like.
Yeah, where would Halo be without Johnson?
Hmm.
So yeah, that right there was the Scarab.
wasted, Sarge?
Okay.
That
I
big.
remember. I actually remember this fight across the bridge.
Yeah, you have to jump off the bridge onto the thing and land on it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, my cousins were big into Halo, and I remember watching, trying to figure out how to beat the Scarab. It took forever.
Okay.
They would use the faith of our forefathers to bring ruin to us all. The great
Oh.
journey is
This heretic, and those who follow him,
All right. So this is the elite part of the game, the parallel stories. So
Okay.
I just wanted to get a little bit into this one before we get too lost in just the Master Chief part.
must be silenced.
Their slander offends all.
what use am I? I can no longer command ships, lead troops into battle.
Not as you are, but become the Arbiter.
Yeah, my greatest disappointment was all the hype you get for the Arbiter in this game. You don't really get to play as him unless it's co-op in Halo 3.
Mm.
I mean, it makes more sense than having 2 Master Chiefs to play co-op, but yeah, he doesn't really get his own campaign in the third one.
You must undertake as the arbiter of perilous, suicidal.
It's interesting how small and frail he actually is, because when you see him in the armor, he's just huge.
Yeah. That armor really works at making him look cute, making him look intimidating, that's for sure. None of that is just the metallic texture of the armor just looks, what should I say?
What would you have your arbiter do?
It just looks a lot lifeless or unreal, just how they textured that armor.
When we join the Covenant,
It's all. It also makes me chuckle because he's got to have some serious dry mouth.
the blood of our fathers,
Oh yeah, from the mandibles.
Yeah, because they don't close. It's not like Predator.
Right.
those who would break these oaths are heretics, worthy of neither pity nor mercy. Even now, they use our Lord's creation to broadcast their lives. We shall grind them into dust and continue our march to glorious salvation.
So this is from Halo 1, and spoiler alert, the ring does get broken apart.
Mhm.
But this is near the wreckage where some of the Covenant are no longer going along with their plan and are called heretics.
Oh, okay.
And I also kind of like how the regular elites have the silver, the golden armor, and the Arbiter has the dark purple, blackish armor
Hmm.
as a contrast.
They also have different styles of armor. I noticed that the Arbiter has the piece that comes down and covers over the mouth, and then the guy he was talking to only has armor on the mandibles, but not over the face.
Yeah. So yeah, you can also wield the energy sword that the elites use from Combat Evolved in this game,
Mm-hmm.
even as the chief.
And we shall quell this heresy without incident.
So yeah, this is a mining station near the original Halo ring. You're fighting other Covenant, so this is, I guess it's also a first. I mean, it's your Covenant fighting Covenant.
Oh, okay. Is the energy sword just as absurd as it is in 3?
More or less. You can do the leap attack in both games, where if you keep aiming
Gotcha.
at somebody, you can hit a button to do a jump attack where you jump up to the guy and get him with the sword.
Mm-hmm.
So if you know how to crouch sneak, which is kind of primitive, because just because you're crouching doesn't mean you're sneaky, but that's how
Yeah.
this game works.
Yeah, especially with how big you are as the Arbiter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Many hours went into zombie mode.
Oh my. So yes, you have, unlike the chief, has the flashlight, you have a camouflage, but it only works for a limited time. And as the Arbiter, you cannot pick up regular active camouflage power-ups.
Okay.
So this is the carbine. It's the opposite of the battle rifle because it's a plasma rifle that fires in bursts for the Covenant. And I didn't entirely agree with having a mirror image for both sides, but I don't know. It's still a technical improvement of the first Halo.
There's only so many combinations you can do with anything, since it's all based on our tech, and then we have to like make stuff up.
Right.
It's one of the reasons I really enjoy Perfect Dark. It's because there's so many. Like, there are plenty of weapons that all do like the same kind of things, but the types of weapons and their secondaries are just so cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that isn't horrifying. Seeing a giant energy sword glowing and it's just floating there because of the Arbiter's cloaked.
Yeah. But I do feel that you can also play as elites in multiplayer as well. Now, starting with this game, so you're not just playing Spartans in multiplayer maps.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the red versus blue showing the alien that said Blarg.
Yeah. We were my lady and I we were in our the Discord with our buddies, and I had never like really sat down to play Halo 1, and so we were playing this, and I just cranked it up to legendary, and the whole time I'm like ironically making jokes about like the quality of the game and everything, just to piss her off because she loves Halo.
Well, that's fine.
and we were playing, and one of my buddies was in the chat with us, and I said, "Honey, of course I know what I'm talking about. I know Halo. I've watched Blue versus Red," and just instantly, the dude's just no, no, God, I have never gotten so violently angry but that fast before.
Then, I'm gonna skip to near the end. Oh, it's Sentinels.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is the crazy one. So you have this extra long dogfighting part, you against other Banshees.
Okay.
But you have to fly to a certain point, and if you lose your Banshee, you're in big trouble. Because you'll fall into the gas giant. Basically, if Luke was not caught by the Falcon, this is what would happen to him, is if he fell. But
Gotcha.
thankfully, I got another Banshee.
Yeah, you can barrel roll. That's nice.
Yes, you can. That gives you a chance of avoiding heat-seeking missiles if someone does that to you, but it doesn't always work, but it's better than nothing.
Gotcha.
Ouch.
Oh, like those?
Yeah, that was a fuel rod gun.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
and in this same mission, the grunts have fuel rod guns. See, you saw the grunt right there. He's got a fuel rod gun, so you gotta try and hit him without him shooting you with it.
Gotcha.
Those grunts can shoot you, man. Oh. Can't believe I didn't see the grunts. Whatever.
Yeah, it happens.
Not to mention, Martin O'Donnell had some great new music for this game. I got the album for it, actually. This is one of my favorite songs in the game right here. Perfectly matches the flying around over a bottomless pit.
Well, it's definitely upbeat, especially for a dogfight like this.
Oh yeah. Oh, ouch.
Way to scratch the paint.
Yeah. You too. Oh, right.
Nice.
Yeah, it was nice. It was a nice sequel. Long waited, and the last Halo for the regular Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
And it
Yeah,
also, I
and
guess I
that-
forgot, it's where they started using the ODSTs, or hell jumpers. And they got their own little spin-off for Halo 3 ODST.
Yeah, that was Nathan Fillion, right?
Yep. Yep. So, coming up next, whatever happened to the Halo movies. So, we're going to try watching some of these and giving a little bit of our thoughts on them. They should be pretty fun, and yes, they made movies about Halo. Halo Legends, Fall of Reach, and Forward Unto Dawn. There's also Nightfall, but I'll see if that's available.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I will definitely try to make the time. No guarantees.
I only expect one of them, anyways. I mean, I was gonna see Fall of Reach.
Okay.
Or
isn't that just Reach though? Like the game?
It's before Reach, so it's all the events that happened before Reach happened.
Oh, okay.
And there were books for it. Although I'll let you know. I'm also thinking of watching Forward Into Dawn, because that's actually the live action
first
Halo.
one.
First live action one.
Okay.
Forward Into Dawn was 2012. Legends was 2010. Fall of Reach was 2011.
Okay.
So Forward Unto Dawn was to promote Halo 4 when it actually came out.
Oh, gotcha. I could have sworn Forward Into Dawn was the first movie they made.
It's the first live action one.
Gotcha.
It's not animated like Halo Legends is. Actually, Forward Unto Dawn features Canadian actor Daniel Cudmore, and they filmed it in Canada for about $15 million as a web series. But then they put it together into a video. So it's Daniel Cudmore as in the suit as the Master Chief. Like, you remember the Colossus from the old Fox X-Men movies? That's him.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So next week is whatever happened to the Halo movies. It should be pretty fun. And I want to say happy Halloween.
Yeah. Have a good spooktacular, everyone, and stay safe.
I'm looking forward to your next Rings of Power one.
I definitely will be getting right back to it as soon as this Joker review is done.
All right. I'll see that too. Anyways, everyone, I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you next week for the Halo movies.
Yee. Have a good day, everybody.